right. Welcome everybody to our live interview tonight. Tonight I have the wonderful Katie Jane. Hi,
Hello.
Katie. Katie's here tonight to share with us about her story and how she has gone from a nurse to an entrepreneur. So, Katie, please share your story with us and tell us a little bit about yourself first.
Wow, thank you so much, Sandra, for inviting me on. I love to talk about myself and my journey and why I'm doing this because I never heard of multi-level marketing before I joined this company.
Yeah.
People had always come to me in Enyo parties or Tupperware parties or any of those things and said, "You need to be a distributor." I'm like, "What? I don't want to do that. I'm a nurse, right?" And so yes, I've been a nurse since I was 18, and you can hear my accent, I'm English. And I came here when I was 23, so I've actually been longer in Australia. I'm 52 this year. And
Wow.
nursing was something that I always wanted to do. I'm a carer. My mom was a nurse, and it was something that I was always going to do and wanted to do. And I've mostly been doing children's cancer nursing here in WA, in Perth, and that's been my world for as long as I can remember. And it wasn't till I stumbled across the product and I was given this product. I was told about this product and I absolutely did not look at it. I was the skeptic in the corner. Anything. I just, you can imagine, I'm a cancer nurse. I was giving chemotherapy to children from babies up to 18. And, it was a tough existence, but it was a very, very humbling special job for me to be
Yeah,
able
wow.
to be looking after these families at their worst possible moment, right? And that was always me. If I could walk away from my job any day and felt that I made a difference, then my job was done. And so it wasn't on my line. Natural therapies I wasn't against at all, but I certainly wasn't thinking in terms of something that could really change my life or
Yep.
my health. And so I actually dismissed it from the person that showed me or wanted to show me. I think I went to Google and Googled something really quickly to find something negative, and we all know Mr. Google gives us negative. So
We
it
sure
wasn't.
do.
They do, and it wasn't till the person who introduced it to me. She came through my door about 3 months later, and she was a piano teacher. So she was my kid's piano teacher, and she was very left of center. So she taught piano in a very different way. It was called Simply Music, and it was a great system. So if anybody needs piano out there, go and find Simply Music. But this lady Christina, she came through my door and she looked different. Okay, so I was a little bit taken aback. Now she was very randomly in and out of my life because and she doesn't mind me talking about this. She suffered very much from depression because she had cancer when she was 27, and she also had a son's suicide in front of her when he was
Wow.
15. So she was in and out of suicide watch, right? So she was in and out of that, and she always looked worn, for want of a better word. Like the world was on her shoulders.
Yeah.
Anyway, she walked through the door that day, and I just had to double take. And I said, what have you done?" I actually remember asking, and we giggle about it now. I said, "Have you had Botox? Because you look younger." And she said no, and she giggled, and she said, "No, I told you about that little yellow pill, and you didn't want to look at it. Well, I've been taking it now for a while, and she had carpal tunnel, and she had some issues, like some pains in her body. And she said, I told you that it was a product that reduced oxidative stress, and I'm still thinking, I don't know what oxidative stress is. I had ignored her, right?
Yep.
And she said, actually really helped with all my pains, but actually it's lifted my mood. And I said, well, I don't care whatever it's done, it's actually made you look so much more refreshed. You
Yeah,
look different.
wow.
Yeah, and she had 3 children that she was fostering at the time coming in, and I'm like, whoa. So there's my journey. That's where it started, and we talk a lot in this business about when you're ready to listen to something,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
we're not always ready to listen to something, right? I wasn't ready to listen to it a few months ago, but I was suffering at that time with joint pain, right? Hands, knees, hips had been passed down from my, genes in my family, and I was waiting to see a specialist. And I knew as a nurse where that was going to take me, right? and it was down the drug road. And I know the drugs because I've given them, and I didn't really want to go there, right? And so I kind of snatched the bottle off her, and I said, "Well, I'll try anything." And there, I don't think there's ever a single minute or moment in my life I can define as something that changed my life. And that night, it makes me a little bit choky. So that night, I took the tablet and I researched. So I'm a nurse, right? I need to know what's going in my body and why that was having that effect on her, right?
Yeah.
And how that was going to affect me. And I was a bit kind of puzzled about this oxidative stress and why I didn't know about it. So I sat up all night long and I read all about the history of the company, the history of the product, the way it was helping my body inside, the peer-reviewed studies. And I also was on a testimonial site that was real people taking the product and how it had helped them. And I couldn't believe that there was something out there that was making such a difference to people's health. And I didn't know about it.
I know. That's the thing.
It's kind of scary. And I then, like 3 weeks later, I started to really feel different. My pain started to ease up. But, the pains all went, right? I never needed to go to see that doctor, which was a miracle to me. And my mom ended up on the products as well because she had the same problem. And, 6 months down the track, my mom was off medications, right? And she was running around feeling better. But, one of the things that it really did for me is it made me feel my brain fog kind of lifted. And I didn't even know what brain fog was. I just knew that it was like I'd put a pair of glasses on and I could see the world a little bit differently or more clear. And I thought I could do anything. Seriously, I just felt that I didn't need to keep doing what I was doing. I was tired of, my feet ached. I was on night shift. I was a bit tired of children with cancer and the problems that arose. And it wasn't like this job was sitting there. I actually said to this lady, I've got lots of people to send you for help. She said, please, do you want to join me? And I said, join what?
I actually remember the first time you came to that meeting and to have a listen. That was the first night I met you it was in Brisbane, I think.
Yes.
Yes, I remember that.
I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew that there was a product that I'd been introduced to that I felt it was an absolute rort that people didn't know about it. Right?
Yes.
And I thought this has landed on my lap for a reason. And I need to share this with as many people as I can. And as a nurse, maybe I can help in a different way and serve people in a different way. And I can stay at home. Like I'm a mother of 4, as you know, Sandy.
Yeah.
I had a baby at 46. So, I didn't want to be going missing the egg and spoon race anymore. I didn't want to be the night shift worker that was tired in the corner and didn't sleep very well. I wanted to be present for my family. And this came along for a reason. And I went, I'm going to help you. Honestly, it wasn't about making money for me. It was about helping people understand the science behind what we've got and to be able to help people naturally with their health. And the journey now, as you know, Sandy, has led me into a full-time gig. I don't nurse anymore. This is my passion. I share this. I was on a Zoom with a lady in America today, never met her, and she just was so excited because she's got issues in her body and she is desperate to now get this in her body because she can understand what it's doing. And it makes me cry thinking of all the people. She's in America. This is a product, a company that has been around for 17 years.
In America.
And she's sitting over there and she's saying to me, Katie Jane, how do we not know about this?
Yeah.
And I said, I am really sorry you don't, but that's why I've came into your world.
Yeah,
and she was actually wanting me to look at her products and her business, and she just didn't care anymore about that. She just went,
I love it.
How have you got that? Right. So it warms my heart. Sandy, you're the same person I am.
Yeah.
Is if we can help people to feel better, to live longer, like we have a product, everyone, that is the only product in the world to extend life.
That is the exciting, isn't it? That's just wow.
And
and it's not like when you say, because some people will think of that and think to themselves, oh, I don't want to live longer and be old and have all those problems.
Yeah,
But the thing is, when you live longer with it and you use the product, it actually, you're healthy as well. It's not, you're
healthy.
not, yeah, it's
No,
you're
health fan. And
exactly.
when you look at the history and the science, well, the history of the company, when they went into that lab all those years ago, the
Mm,
question that they wanted to ask is, do we have to, as we age, start to decline? Because
yes,
let's face it, we all know that when we start to age, things start going wrong, don't they?
absolutely.
We get aches, we get pains, we end up with cancers, we end up with heart disease. We go to the doctor, they fix it, or maybe not with a band-aid or a treatment.
Yep.
And we accept that. We don't
Yeah.
have to accept that anymore, everyone. We can actually look after the inside of ourselves by simply flipping the switch. Look at Sandy there. We flip a switch. And I love LifeVantage. So they started with this flagship product, right? Pretend, and they started with that one. So they flipped the switch of making your own antioxidants. And it's not only just that. I was saying to this
Yes.
lady today, it's not only we're giving you antioxidants because we want to reduce your oxidative stress, and we can reduce it by, on average, 40% in a month, 70% in 3 months. You want to go any further? Like, seriously? But
How much more do you need to hear?
here. But secondly, we know that we increase your glutathione, which is linked to most illnesses, and
Yeah.
we increase that. But there's another 399 switches. There's
In the
anti-inflammatory
body. That's
switches.
right.
You know
Yep.
what? It's not just about the antioxidant. Yes, the antioxidant's all about aging, and LifeVantage went away, and they said, "Yeah, we've covered that." They didn't stop there, did they,
No,
Sandy?
not
They
at
went,
all.
"What else? What else do we know in our world that causes aging? Mitochondria. We know. I didn't know. I know about the mitochondria because I'm a nurse, and I know what it does
Yeah.
ish. But now I know that as we decline in age, we lose our mitochondria.
Mm.
And guess what? There's another pathway. And guess what? LifeVantage switched it back on. So
Yeah.
they the switch. And so that's the magic of this product. It's not supplementing.
Yeah.
We're not supplementing our body. Like, take for instance glutathione. Let's just talk about glutathione. And as I said to you, glutathione is the master antioxidant. It's what keeps us well. It boosts our immunity. It really is like something that if you've got lots of glutathione in your body, you're going to stay well. You're going to feel better, right? But
Absolutely.
it declines as we get older because we ain't got the switch on.
Yep.
And people are trying to get glutathione into their bodies because we've always known for a long time we want to get it. You can go to the chemist, you can buy your glutathione.
It's
Supplement.
synthetic. It's not the
It's
real stuff
synthetic.
that
It's
your
not the
body
real thing.
actually makes. Yeah,
No.
that's right.
And Parkinson's patients, I know, horrible disease, right? We know that glutathione, they're very low in glutathione. And so they actually get given glutathione intravenously
Yeah.
because intravenously it's quicker to get in your
Into
system.
the system, of
Yeah,
course.
and it works. And I've
Yep.
seen videos and I've seen patients actually go from stuttering and stammering to walking normally and speaking. But
That's
guess what?
amazing.
It is amazing, but guess what? It lasts 2 weeks because
Oh,
the
really?
shelf life of it goes down, right? So we need glutathione. Athletes try and get glutathione. People think, oh well, I'm so bloody healthy. I run and I do this and I do that. Well, guess what? Yeah, great, and keep exercising, but high athletes have massive oxidative stress, and they
Yes.
have been trying to get glutathione into them for so long. And we have one of the first studies that we ever had out that has proven peer reviewed. We didn't even do it, that says that our glutathione is increased. We make
Mm-hmm.
our own, everyone. It's not about supplementing. We increase our glutathione by 300%. Do you want to go
Absolutely.
any further? That's what I said about, well, how much more do you want? How much more information? And it's not like we're not in the convincing game, right?
Yeah.
I'm not here to convince anybody. We're in the educational game. We
Yep.
need to, and that's my stand on this, Sandy, as you know, and a lot of our distributors are customers that have felt the difference, and the company,
I
and
was one of those.
yeah,
Yeah.
and instead of the company putting it on a shelf, and do you know what, like, nobody, you've got to know the story, you've got to know the science, you've got to know everything.
Yes.
It's not something, it's different, right?
Yeah.
And so they're going, well, rather than pay marketing, let's pay the people that love the product.
Yep.
That's all it is.
That's
And
it.
guess what? As a product, you want it, but secondly, all you need to do is share it with your family and friends,
Mm.
and then they share it with their family and friends, and then they share it with the family and friends. And guess what? Before you know it, you're getting an income that you think, well, hold on, I might not have to do that anymore, because look what I'm doing. I'm helping people with their health. I'm building a team. I'm showing them how to do it. You don't have to be a nurse. Just putting it out there.
Yeah.
You don't, because I've got people in my, I've got a couple of nurses, because of course a lot of my friends are nurses, but mostly I don't. I just show them that, they put people in front of me, and I just chat, and then boom.
That's it.
You've got a business. So I take over a bit, Sandy. I'm sure you've got.
Look, you've pretty much answered all the questions that I was going to ask you anyway.
I know.
So keep going.
I'm a little bit like that. I tend to
love
take
your work,
over.
Katie.
And
I love it.
it's all about being authentic and real, and it's not about pitching to people. It's not about trying to sell you something or convince you that this is good for you. Just do the reading. Do the science. Look at what it is. Nutrition and genes.
Absolutely.
Epigenetics and gene expression is a really, really brilliant science. And I'm not a scientist. I'm not even going to be bothered going into the epigenetics, because I actually don't care anymore, because I know that the science that we have in our products is mind-blowing, and we've seen the results. And yes, you have to take it for the rest of your life. People say, well, do I have to take that for the rest of my life? Well, yeah. Do you know what? Do you eat for the rest of your life? well, yeah.
That's so true, though. Like, wouldn't you take a multivitamin for the rest of your life?
And you know what? How many people take a multivitamin? They go to the chemist. They don't say to the chick behind the chemist, well, what peer review studies have you got on that? Right. So what's that doing for me? Well, can you prove? They just take it, and then they pee it out the next hour.
Absolutely.
Right?
Because with that kind of stuff, and we don't know this, and we're not told this by the people behind the counter, make sure you don't have it with this, or make sure you have it with this, otherwise your body's not going to absorb it, blah blah blah. So
I'm not anti-supplements. I'm not anti, because I do believe that if you're deficient in something,
of course,
this is a really good sign. This is the really good lesson here. If you're deficient in magnesium or zinc, or
you need the supplement
it, so you can give your body that, because it needs it, right?
Absolutely.
If it doesn't need it, it spits it out. Our body have and I know, right? I'm a nurse. I've seen bodies cut open. I know. I've seen children come back from the brink of death, right? Because the body, if you put the body in a homeostasis where it's really brilliant, it fixes itself if you give it the right materials, right?
Absolutely.
You give it the right compounds, and this is exactly the same thing. So people say, well, do I have to take that for the rest of my life? Well, yes, because unfortunately you had some pathways in your body that get switched off. We're just switching them back on for you. It's $2 a day for our flagship. Seriously? Like, can't you find $2 a day for your own health? And when the people start to take these products, they don't want to stop. I had a phone conversation on a text message today from a lady, and he's not on an auto ship. I don't know what's happened, but he came off the auto ship. She said he's been without her husband for 5 days, and he feels the difference. Can we please get back on the auto ship? Because you start to, like, honestly, you think that your new normal is normal, right? And then when you go off the products, you go, ooh, did I feel like that before? It's like me. Look at me. I'm 52. I'm bouncing off the walls. I'm not.
You're amazing.
I'll be honest with you. I have days when I'm not feeling great either. It's not like a fix for everything. And if there's certain situations in your life, like, I'll tell you now, I'll be honest with all of you people here. I like a drink. I'm English. It's just what we do. And I know that if I drink too much, or I have a big night, then the next night I wake up and my hip hurts, right? 3:30, my hips are going. And I'm like, oh, there's the hip again. Now, I'll tell you what that is now. So the science behind this is that you will open that pathway in your bodies, and it will switch the pathway back on. And it's, as Joe McCord, who's the scientist way back, he was the man that found all of this, the scientist. And he found it the way, it's a dimmer switch. It actually upregulates and downregulates as your body needs it. So you're never going to go too much, and you're never going to go too less, unless you insult your body, right? So what happens is I insult it with a bottle of Prosecco or whatever I'm doing, and then then my body's going, oh, what happened to her last night?
Yeah.
You know, so what happens is the dimmer switch hasn't quite got up yet. So they start to switch it on a little bit more. And
Yep.
I'm telling you, by midday, I don't have to take an anti-inflammatory. I don't have to take it. I just drink water, take my Pretendin. By midday, I'm going, God, I should
Feeling
learn
good.
by that.
Yep.
And that's what I'm saying is it's not, and you will agree with me, Sandy, this isn't like a cure or fix or, you know, for everything.
That's right.
We don't treat, cure, mitigate diseases, but if you can get your cells in your body and your homeostasis working, and then look at the rest of your life, right? It's not just about these products. You know,
So
don't
true.
drink too much. Don't drink too much, right?
It's a
Don't smoke.
holistic
It's a
approach, you know?
holistic approach.
Absolutely.
I don't have chemicals and shit in my cupboards anymore because I
Exactly.
know that contributes to my oxidative stress. So
Yep.
I could talk for hours. Is there anything else you would like me to talk about?
I love it. I love it. I love you. You're awesome. No, you're absolutely spot on. Like everything, you know, it all works together and there's all bits of the puzzle that you need to fit to make it work. This is just one piece of that puzzle that's going to help you. And then you need to find the other pieces. It's not a one size fits all fix for every
No,
problem. And
no.
we never say that. But it can definitely make some fantastic changes in how you're feeling.
Yeah, and look, I say to people, I mean, everybody's genetic makeup's different, right?
Yep.
Every single person on this planet, it may help you with some things and not others. You
Yep.
know, we see it. Some people sleep like babies on this,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
some people don't, right?
Yep.
Because we're all genetically different. But what have you got to lose but try? Like,
Absolutely.
that's my thing is it's $2 just over a day for our flagship
Yep.
product. What have you got to lose? And if
Mm,
you can't, if you think, oh, I haven't quite got that in my budget, well, stop doing something. You
mm,
know, look at your lifestyle, how you can save the money to put to give it a good 3 or 4 months
yep.
and see, you know, and we all want to live healthier. We want to, it's like you said, Sandra, it's not so much that we want to live longer, but as we age, we want to actually enjoy our life.
Absolutely.
How many people do we see who retire and then 18 months later or less die?
Mm-hmm. Or
Right?
they're spending every day in and out of the doctors for doctor's
In and out of the
appointments.
doctors. Do you know the lady that I spoke to today in America? She's on 17 drugs.
Wow.
And she was sitting waiting to go on a tablet tomorrow, and it's a Lyrica, and I know that it's a
Oh,
really
that's not a great drug. No.
great drug. And she actually said, you came into my life at the absolute point when I needed it because I was going to get my Lyrica tomorrow and I'm
Yeah.
not anymore. And I'm not going to promise her that it's going to change her life, but
Yep.
I actually know that it's something magical is going to happen with her
Yep.
and it stops her having to take another tablet. And the
Absolutely.
causes, I know in my life of nursing, you give one drug. It's not that I'm anti drugs, don't get me wrong, but
Mm.
drugs or medications cause oxidative stress.
Yeah.
So all linked. So if we can cut down our drug use, and what happens is, as we all know, we take a drug and then we need another drug because that drug makes us sick, or that drug makes us this, or that drug.
Yeah.
We end up layering on layering, and the doctors actually don't have all the answers. And
Mm.
this is what's really sad is that doctors don't know about oxidative stress. They're starting to, and we are very lucky now. We've got over 1,000 doctors now in our business, and there is a wake up call coming for the world. And my prediction is that in the next 5 or 10 years, every single person will want that little yellow pill sitting in their medicine cabinet.
I agree with you
And
completely.
the ones that didn't listen to me or aren't listening to me or are not ready to listen to me, and that's absolutely fine. They're going to go, oh, I should have listened to Katie. uh, and you know, we're just lucky. I feel very lucky that this came into my life, and all I want to do is share my experience, and
Yep.
that's why I'm humble. I'm very humbled, and you know, Sandra's a brilliant person in our business. We share stuff, and
Thank you, darling.
we help each other. So yeah, that's my story. So I hope
Thank
that's
you.
excited. And
I
You know,
loved what you shared with us tonight. Thank you so much, Katie. You
pleasure.
have so much passion and enthusiasm about what you talk about, and I could sit here and listen to you all night. And I love it. And I enjoy hearing it from different people's perspective as well,
Yeah,
and I've heard it so many different stories in so many different ways that every time I still learn something new.
yeah, me
Um,
too. It's
so
beautiful,
it's
isn't it?
yeah, it's great. It's really
Yeah,
great. So thank you everyone that jumped on tonight. And there's some questions and things in the chat, so I'll go through and answer those. But
yeah.
thanks again, Katie. Really appreciate your time, and thanks for sharing your story with us tonight.
Pleasure. Thank you. Love you a lot, Sandy. And
Thank
look,
you.
everybody, thank you for listening.
Thanks, darling. Bye. Mwah.
Bye.